Hey, what's happening, guys? Mike Moo here. This is something that the company called Get Altos sent out to me for review. This is a health product, believe it or not. Look at how small this is. This is kind of reminiscent of a GPS tracker that I used to own, and it's approximately about the same size and weight as well. Very weighty. Now, all right, enough about that. As you can see, there's some pretty good industrial design going on in here, and it actually comes in a couple of different colors. Now, Altos is about optimizing your state of mind, what's going on in your head, how to improve that. And you might wonder, how in the world does a product this small be able to do it? Does it jack in your head or something? And Altos, I think it stands for high, right? The higher level of being, optimizing your mind. Well, how it does this is it lets you know what a bad environment you may be in right now. Or like right now, in this very moment, you could be breathing in not enough oxygen, too much CO2, not the optimal. Okay. You want the optimal amount of oxygen coming into your head, and that means not breathing in a lot of CO2. So what this does is it monitors your CO2 levels and gives you a nice little graph, this tiny little graph over here, and I'll show here on the screen and also on this little camera footage on here. There's these bars on here that quickly show you at a glance where you're at, okay, in terms of the CO2 level right now. Now, there's something very exciting that's going to be announced really soon. I'll talk about a little bit in a video, but this is all about brain fuel, okay. Right now, I'm at level 7, and that's not bad. One, two, three, 4. Okay, I'm at level 6. It was better, but because of all the breathing that I'm doing, I'm expelling CO2, and that's raising the levels of CO2 around me, and that is less than optimal for brain operation. Okay. So all I have to do, and this is what's kind of eye-opening, at least to me, is that in our general day-to-day life, especially during COVID right now, you know, you're indoors, you're working from home, and you know, you're just basically spending a lot of time indoors in the indoor environments. And even when we were going to work, what we would often do is what? We would drive to work in our cars. Now, I don't know about you, but you know, when I was living in LA, a lot of the air was bad. I mean, there was just simply a lot of smog, and as a result, and also because we have gas guzzlers on the road, as a result, what I would often have to do is set the air circulation and set it so that it's just recirculating internal air. Apparently, I was doing myself a big disservice, and this is probably why I ended up being a little bit more tired than I would have been had I just left the fresh air option just to come in and just deal with the smog some other way. So the CO2 levels I found generally when I'm out and about, and right here, there's this little meter in here. It's kind of hard to see because it's LCD. It would tell me that I'm getting 1 or 2. Basically, my brain was being starved of oxygen and just getting too much carbon dioxide. The levels were too high. Okay, so this is why sometimes, you know, when you're really tired and when you're driving, they always say, hey, open up the window, get some fresh air, because it really just brings you back to life, makes you a little bit more awake than normal, okay? And by the general state of normal, I found that in the house is pretty low, okay? It's like a 3 or 4, and I'm in like a 1,300 square foot location right now, and you know, there's 2 of us here. You know, we're all working from home primarily, and we don't have the windows open. That's kind of what we're looking, and it's just only going to go down from there. So I found the simple way to improve your well-being is simply just to get some fresh air. You know, open the windows, open the doors, and that was it's shocking, really. It's shocking until you actually look at the statistics. Now, the apps that they have going on in here are pretty good. They're actually going to be adding a few other sensors to measure and check your temperature, okay, and also to go ahead and measure and check your humidity, and also to check your sound, right? And it puts it in this nice little app that I've only been using it on my iOS device, okay? But it puts it in this app that just makes it really easy to see at a glance and know what level of performance you're going to be getting at, all right? Now the box, this is what you get. You can order this. Unfortunately, I don't see this on Amazon right now. The version that I have is off-white, and this is, as you can see, it's a red dot winner 22-in-1 and for a smart item. And the battery life in here is ridiculous because they kept it very minimal. It's 6 months of battery life, the way it's set up right now. Now, I imagine once they activate the other sensors that are available in the unit and going to be active through the app, it's going to be, it'll let you know what's going on. It's very clean. I didn't do an unboxing, but basically it comes like this in a box. And, you got your cables in here, and then you have this little lanyard cord as well as a little carabiner thing that helps you to attach it to your strap and take it with you on the go, so you can see how bad your office environment is, or how bad your sleep environment is, or how bad your sleep is. And they really just they really make it really easy to see. Now I asked them, I was curious, and I was asked them if we can take a look at the technical details in terms of a little bit more minute details and adjust those. And I don't think that they're going to do that. It could be something that's going to come in the future. But for now, they just really want to keep it simple. Give you a simple score from 0 all the way to 10, whether or not your brain's going to activate, going to be fully active or activated and non-hindered by high CO2 levels. That's what this is about. So it'll affect everything from your sleep, your work, your concentration levels. It's going to affect all of that. And so this really was an eye-opening experience. Now, I have been having some trouble sleeping because, there's just been a lot of stress and a lot of issues and family emergencies during this whole past year. It's been really tough. Okay. So I've been looking for everything I can to help improve my environment, reduce the stress, get better. And I do believe that this really has helped me. Let's see how much this is. And this part may shock you a little bit. Yeah, it's $200. But, this is like an Apple designed product. There's a money back guarantee if you feel like it doesn't work out well for you. They deliver worldwide, and I see they have 2 different colors. There's graphite and there's a green color, and this one's the white color. And I got to tell you, it really was eye-opening for me. Now, if you want to save $200, there's a simple thing that I have definitely learned from this, is that, well, one, get some fresh air, okay? Just open the windows, keep them open as much as you can, and, get an air filter, okay, everywhere, right? So you want to filter out all the bad particulates in the air, and, I've done videos about that as well. And then, of course, keep your humidity at a relatively good level. 40-50% seems to be more comfortable. And then, obviously, the temperature, whatever temperature is the most useful to you. Now, I had kept all those other things in check, but I just neglected to keep the CO2 levels in check. And that's just all about getting fresh air. So just get some fresh air. But if you really want to know how bad or good your environment is, and trust me, if it's an old office building, it's probably not great. And you're gonna want to know the statistics on here, and just maybe put together that argument about how we need more windows, or more air circulation so that everybody gets more work done and works at a more optimal level. This is the device for you. It's nice, it's clean, it's efficient, it's non-obtrusive. You just attach this to whatever it is that you have. I typically attach it to my bag as I'm going about, and it monitors for you and then checks the status of that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a little bit about the app here, and I'm going to switch over to, I'll switch over to the Get Altos app just to give you an idea of what's going on here. And I'm just going to say, well, work productivity, poor sleep, health reasons, sport performance. No, not really. I want accurate data. I want graphs and logs, short tips. I want to do, okay. I'm not going to type in anything about this. And I'm going to say I spend most of the time indoors. Technical. I want some more technical technical data and logs that can be exported. I think I already gave this feedback to them. That's something that me as a nerd would want to do so that I can better hack my brain and better improve my life. Okay, so I took the survey. All right, so this is what you see when you open it up. It lets you know where you're at. So I am at 7 points. That's not too bad. All right, 7 points is pretty darn close to 7, 8, 9, or 10. And right here, I lost Bluetooth connection. But as you can see, throughout the day, I might have been in environments in 4. Let me show you. I got in 2. This at level 2, I got to show you. The level 2 was because when my wife and I are sleeping in the bedroom, we have the windows closed because it's cold. And I also close the door. Both of us are breathing. This gets down to 2 and 1. Imagine how bad of a sleep. It feels really stuffy. You know, when it feels really stuffy, you wake up in the middle of the night and then you just realize that you're thirsty and all. This is what's been causing some of the periods of wakefulness that I have during the night. Is because, we're all breathing all the oxygen in the room, expelling CO2, and it's just too high of concentration. This level 1, this was because I was in a car, small car, had the AC running, but this was all just recirculating air. So it went down all the way from that to that, right? But generally, as you can see, when I started out, I noticed, it was great because I was using it outdoors, and then when I came indoors, your sleeping environment, I'm just getting a 2. That was just horrible. So now, I tried a couple of things and I went and I said, okay, well, let's just open the door. And that only got to 3 because there wasn't enough air circulation. So now what I do, and you'll see overall my levels are much higher, is because we just open up the window. Yeah, it's a little bit colder, but we put on more blankets and we get better sleep overall. So that's taught me some important things, particularly for sleep. And now, I guess, just to be a little bit more awake and not to be reliant on caffeine and stuff, I have just started just being a lot more aware about my environment and the amount of CO2 levels in here. Now, like I said, they're adding some things. I'll have a few screenshots at the end of the video to give you an idea of some of the things they were adding. So they're going to add humidity. They're going to add the sound levels around you. They're going to add, temperature. And I have a feeling that there's probably going to be some other stuff that they can go ahead and add on there as well. I mean, it's got precision CO2 sensor. Who knows if they have a PM sensor in there, parts per million, to see how much other pollution that you have in there. But yeah, I like it. I really like the fact that I don't have to keep charging it. There was another device that I used. I had to charge it pretty often. And that got a little bit annoying, I must say. So with this, with a long battery life and maybe more control over what it is that it, what settings we have, and I asked for data exporting capability. These things are things that a small company like Get Altos understands, and that they might be integrating in the future and soon. But for now, it's a really good CO2 sensor. And for that, I don't know of any other product out there that is able to do this for 6 months at a time with a nice app, Bluetooth connectivity, and just overall well done, nice and simple. One thing that I would like to see is for them to drop the price a bit. I think $199 is pretty expensive, and honestly, if I didn't know the information that this was going to show or tell me, I probably wouldn't even consider it, because come on, CO2 sensor, that's it for $200. But this really has changed my environment completely, and thus I feel has changed my life, and I guess my wife's life, because I'm the one that's doing all this stuff, opening the windows, making sure there's air circulation, making sure she's comfortable, however much that we can during this whole pandemic/endemic. Okay, so I think that was worth it. So I want to thank Altos for sending this out to me for me to make a video and do this little review. I hope this was helpful to you, and hopefully you got some good tips from this. And if you are considering getting this, I have a link down below. It is non-affiliated. It just goes directly to Get Altos, where you can go and get one of these yourself. All right. If I have a new affiliate link, I'll also have a link down below. I'll let you know about that as well. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Give it a like, be healthy, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.